Yeah, how's it going, guys? So I'm just out here in my car, my freaking black one today. Freaking, if you watch Pug's videos, you see my heater core was leaking last night. So freaking, anyways, I'm gonna be out here today, and I'm gonna take my dashboard out and stuff, cause like my blue car died, and I've been driving this like just until after Christmas and stuff there. Freaking, so it kind of sucks, but like our winter hasn't been too bad so far. Like we got a little bit of snow, like maybe 2 inches one day, so. Freaking not that bad, but my heater doesn't work in here, so I tried fixing it. Like where the little metal pipes connect to the heater core, there's little rubber O-rings and flange there. So I tried like putting some gasket maker on there, and freaking I let it sit inside for an hour like to cure a little bit, but like I put it outside and it must not have cured all the way overnight, so freaking ended up leaking after a bit. But so I'm gonna pull that out and get like the proper like O-rings for it now and stuff and get it fixed, right? So freaking it should be good to go. But I think I have my dashboard figured out. You can see it right here. Got a puller freaking out. Got my ghetto radio. I was cruising in style yesterday. I had my freaking music and a freaking heat, so it was nice for a bit. But now I gotta pull the dashboard all the way out again. So it was leaking down in there. Freaking, that kind of sucks. Got coolant there. Still a little bit damp. But freaking, I think I got it figured out where I don't have to take all this part out. Freaking, because I took that out last time. Like I did it all at nighttime outside here in the cold. Freaking, just with my freaking flashlight on my cell phone, so it wasn't too bad. But I think I can take it out. Just the bolts on the side, the bolts down there on each side, and then the other bolts right there. And there's one up here in the top. So freaking, if I can take those out, I should be able to just unplug the wiring on each side and kind of like slide her back without disconnecting all this. And if I can do that, it should only take me like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. But I've had this little heater right here inside just warming up all the plastic because I'm just afraid to break it all. So it's nice and warm now. It's warm in the car, so pretty much get started. So I popped off these 3 panels right here. This one goes on the side, just right out there. So I can get to these bolts like in there for the where it mounts to the actual chassis there. And then this one's just right below here because I have to undo the 2 bolts for the steering column to drop it down a bit. And then like the third one's this panel right here, the little driver's kick panel there, so I can get to the bolts under the carpet. And they're just kind of in there. I'll hit my light, see if it helps out. Yeah, not really, but there's 2 bolts down in there. Freaking have to undo those. And then I'll do the other side after, but I'm gonna pop off like the center console and take out the shifter and all this right here so I can get to the bolts down in there. There's 2 screws where it screws down, and then this side, and then I'll work on that side over there. So I popped out the little clips there. You just put in the screwdriver and like just gently pry and it'll pop up and all that, and took out those. There's like 4 screws that hold it down in there. Freaking took off like the surround around the steering wheel and stuff. There's like 3 screws underneath, and then it kind of like just clips apart. And then gotta take out the light for the freaking key light or whatever. And then went around here and freaking popped out my little A pillar there, and I just kind of set it aside there and tuck it up in the sun visor. If you can see that, that's the sun visor. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just about to undo these 2 bolts here on the side, and then the 2 on the bottom there, and then I'll drop the steering column down too. There's like 2 bolts like up in there somewhere. Freaking. Alright, so I went around and I undid the bolts here, so you can see the steering column's just pretty much hanging there. You can kind of see in there with my light. Freaking, I don't know, you can see the edge of the one bracket, but it goes up in there. You can see that's where it connects to right there. So anyways, yeah, I undid those 2 bolts, or 2 12mm bolts there, and then undid the 2 10mm on the side here, and then the 2 12s under there. So this side should be pretty much ready to go. Freaking, I'm gonna reach up underneath after and unplug one part of the harness where it connects into the fuse box, and then I'm gonna do this side, and there's like 2 plugs. Actually, there's like 3 plugs in the corner. Alright, so I went up in there and undid those 2 bolts, and then the 2 down at the bottom and the 1 up here at the top there. So, and then I undid the 3 plugs. There's like 2 that are tucked up in there, right? And then there's 1 in the back there. You can just give her the old reach around and undo her. Freaking So the dashboard like should actually be loose. You can see it freaking is moving around. So now I should be able to actually I gotta go under there before I forget and unplug that one plug there. And I should be able to freaking tilt this back and get back to where the heater core is, but then I'll have to go under the hood there and disconnect the lines and stuff. Yeah, so I undid the plug over there and then freaking I started moving it out. So pretty much this thing will catch on a little bolt down in there, freaking. So it'll make it kind of bad to like move, but like you just gotta work that around the bolt and then it'll freaking pop back and like toss her in the reverse too, so you get that extra little bit. So now that I have it like sitting back, you can see from up in here, there's all the freaking inner workings. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna just kind of tilt her back and like start maneuvering the dashboard so I can get this part up. I'll show you what it looks like once I move it back, but like in total this probably is only taking me like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Like you guys have pretty much seen all the bolts have like undone there, they're freaking all right there, so it's not too bad. Right, so yeah, I just kind of freaking wobbled her up a bit there and got her sitting up. So now I have like all this room back in here because I gotta pull out this whole freaking unit right there from over, like there over pretty much. So get working on that freaking crap. So I just went in the engine bay here and there's the two lines for the heater core there, so you can see freaking it's just down in there. So I already drained it out on Pug 1's legs, so I didn't have to worry about coolant spilling or anything. So now I can pretty much just undo the bolts for the freaking whole heater assembly. Alright, so I'm just undoing the plugs right here. I'll show you how they all sit. So there's two up there and then one right down in here. And then I undid the one bolt. It's like way over on the side there. You just barely see it, but reached up and got that one. So now I have like the two bolts right here and then there's two underneath there. They're pretty easy to get. So once I get those two, I can kind of move the AC freaking part over here freaking out of the way enough to get this out. So it's a bit of wiggling, but it should freaking come out pretty easy. So I undid those bolts and this like AC freaking whatever the fuck it is, it's right there, but it drops down and then freaking just gotta wiggle this. Pretty much if you get it at the top and bottom and kind of wiggle it up and down, it'll eventually come out, because you gotta get those hoses for the heater core out, because they sit in the back and go through the firewall and all that. So freaking I got the Tim Hortons cup there, just draining what's left in the heater core there. Freaking yeah, and once I'm done that, I can kind of just wiggle it past that thing there and freaking kind of suck out the heater core out the side. I'll show you that once I get to there. Yeah, so I undid that bracket there. It's a little star screwdriver. Freaking it's just in the side and kind of clamps down these, but you can see where I fixed it there. So I have to like double check, because I'm not sure if it actually leaked or if maybe the heater core started to leak once it got pressure. So I'll have to check that over. But anyways, there's little O-rings in there. Freaking should be able to like just get some new ones there, and hopefully it freaking stays sealed. But I'll have to see if that's actually leaking, or I'll just JB weld the shit out of it if it is. Freaking right. So anyways, yeah, that took me about freaking not even 30 minutes, I think, like maybe 25-30 minutes tops, I guess, but it's not too bad. So now I can bring this in. I'm gonna just set my dash back into place, freaking just for now. But you can see like I undid all that. Freaking it's just tilted, so that's pretty decent. Alright, so I'm down here in my laundry room. Freaking I guess these things did actually seal, so I always use that freaking ultra copper shit. Like I've never had a problem with it before. Freaking. But anyways, once it started building pressure, it must have cracked the bottom there, because you can see that crack right there. Freaking rinsed it out and stuff, and then filled my laundry tub up with water and was blowing in it, and like freaking there's quite a bit of air going through there, so that freaking sucks. So yeah, like I can't just really go get a new one, because like at the dealership these are like $700 freaking. So I don't know, I'm gonna call around pretty much and maybe see about getting it re-cored, or I might even just put some JB weld on there. I'm gonna like kind of grind away at it with my grinder and see if I can put some of that JB weld freaking super putty shit on there. Alright guys, some of you guys might be mad, but freaking it was late and I needed a coffee and everything was closed around me, so I ended up just tossing my dash and my heater core back in. I fixed the heater core and everything, so it kind of worked out pretty good. I looked online about like the plastic welding and stuff, so I ended up doing that with like a little butane soldering iron or whatever, but I tried with like an electric one, but it wasn't getting the plastic hot enough to like bond together. So after like a couple hours of messing around, I got her freaking sealed up, so it didn't leak or anything, and then freaking ended up putting some JB weld, like high heat stick weld over top of it. Like I wasn't sure how good it would stick on the plastic, so I didn't want to use that in the first place, but anyways, I sanded it all down and it stuck on pretty good. Like it probably would have sealed it by itself, but now it's like a double patch. But so put about like 100 kilometers on it so far. Freaking no leaks or anything. Freaking it's working pretty good. Freaking cause like right now my other beater car is broke, so I've been driving this freaking, but like there's not a lot of snow or anything around, so freaking it's not too bad. But you can see right now it's freaking nice and toasty. I'll just get her pointed at the right spot actually. About like 56 degrees Celsius, so that's freaking nice and hot. No, anyways, freaking while I'm like talking to you guys, I just want to give a shout out to Ridge on the YouTube there. I'll put a link in the description below. But like Steve, he's a pretty good guy. Like talked to him a few times, freaking on Facebook and all that. He sent me a Christmas card, so I really appreciate that. No, freaking just want to give him a shout out. So check out his channel. It's freaking, he's like a vlogger. He's got some pretty good topics he talks about and everything. So freaking yeah, check out his channel. It'll be in the description below. Freaking. But anyways, sorry I didn't freaking show you guys how to put it all in, but I guess it's pretty much the reverse of the removal or whatever it freaking says in the service manual. So it's pretty good. Freaking right. So anyways, until my next video, I'll talk to you guys later.